Florida State and Syracuse, the nightcap of Tuesday night in the ACC tournament. It was not too long ago. This would have been like a pretty high profile semifinal game. Maybe if you're picking some upsets in the ACC tournament bracket, a final game. Instead, they're playing on the first night. Kind of indicative of how these two seasons have gone. Leonard Hamilton stepping down could be his last game in charge of Florida State. But what's one thing that you think could swing this game one way or the other? Whether that's a storyline, individual matchup, what are you looking
Yeah.
at?
I think it pretty much comes down to Jameer Watkins and Malik Ewan. I don't want to say they're the only good players in this game, but they are like the only two players who I enjoy watching basketball who also happen to be like, let's say, two of the five-ish good players in this game, and they both play for Florida State. So I think Malik Ewan, Florida State, they really stumbled to the finish line of ACC play after like at least being pesky for most of league play. They dropped
Yeah.
one at Louisville. They at least kept it close. Got handled pretty good against North Carolina at home, but Ewan only played 4 minutes of that game. That was when he went out with an ankle injury. Missed the game against Duke. Missed the game against Virginia, but came back with a vengeance against SMU when he scored 26 points, grabbed 8 boards. He's the type of player like both him and Watkins are unique in the sense. I mean, they both have size. Like Watkins can essentially run the point at 6'7", and Ewan has a little bit of like point center to him, can function some as like a playmaking hub of that offense. And again, Florida State doesn't have a ton outside of them, but they don't really need to against a Syracuse team that like hasn't particularly looked like it enjoyed playing together all season,
Yeah.
has too many players who aren't ACC caliber, and just has looked really uninspiring.
How much stock do you put in prior results? Because you mentioned kind of the up and down nature and the way Florida State has gone. These two teams played in early January, and Florida State won 90 to 74. Won the battle on the glass pretty convincingly, forced Syracuse to turn it over 15 times. But I think it's fair to say Florida State was playing much better at the time than they
Mhm.
are now. So how much stock do you put into that and the results from that game?
I would definitely buy into it as like a repeatable formula, especially when you think, I don't know, the times where Syracuse has been passable. Is that like a fair way to put it?
Yeah,
It's been when Eddie Lampkin has showed out. You want to talk about someone who they can run the offense through. Like he has some playmaking chops. He gives them
yeah,
that low scoring threat. He gets to the free throw line a ton. But it played out in that first matchup, him going up against Taylor Bull Bowen, and Bowen like kind of ate his lunch.
yeah.
And yeah, as again going back to like the good players in this game, I would say Watkins and Ewan are for sure good. Starling and Lampkin are kind of on the fringe. I'm not sure if they're good. I like Taylor Bowen. I think he's improved a ton this year. Like he's gives them a rim protector, and he's not. I wouldn't say he's a negative on offense either. I think he's shown he can knock down a jump shot. He can make plays out of the short roll a little bit, but I think his physicality will be huge in this one, and just keeping Lampkin from getting going. I mean, you saw that first matchup where Lampkin only played 18 minutes, finished with four
Yeah.
fouls, 4 points.
Ken Palm thinks Florida State wins this game, but thinks it'll be much closer. Has the Knowles winning by three, 77 to 74 over Syracuse. Who are you taking? How do you see this playing out?
I think it's Florida State, and I honestly think Florida State rolls. I know they've been really, really inconsistent. Maybe there's something with the finality of Leonard Hamilton that gives them a little extra juice. But yeah, in these types of situations, when you have two bad teams, I do lean to the squads that at least have some future pros. Like I think Jameer Watkins could be in the NBA this year had he stayed in the draft. I don't know if he would have been a first round pick. Probably wasn't trending that direction, but I think someone would have spent a selection on him. And I think Malik Ewan, I don't know if he were to hit the portal, which I would say probably isn't out of the question considering Florida State's going to be completely turning over to a new coach, new roster and everything. He would be one of the bigs who's in highest demand to where when you just look at those two guys compared to the direction Syracuse has trended all year, when you look at even someone like JJ Starling is 5 for his last 33 point attempts. You don't want that out of your guard whose ball is in the hands all the time. And I think you do have to hit threes against Florida State with how they're able to take away shots at the rim with their size. I think Florida State gets it done easily. I think that Syracuse is ready for their year to be over.
I think Syracuse is as well. They're ready for the Kyan Anthony era to start. Right. That's what they're looking forward to. And I like your shout about not wanting Leonard Hamilton's season to end. I think that's kind of where Florida State is at, wanting to win some games. There's some motivation there that could perhaps spur them on a little mini run here. We'll see. But we'll have a full recap here on the channel after the game. So make sure you like and subscribe.